Keep moving.
Yeah, as you guys can see, it's getting a little crazy. It's getting a little crazy at these airports because, of course, Democrats wanted to shut down DHS, and within DHS is TSA. And so now we have these crazy long lines. And I want to get into this clip of Hakeem Jeffries, Democrat House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, because he went on CNN with Dana Bash, and she actually posed a great question to him. I'm a little, considering who Dana Bash is. We know Dana Bash, right? I'm a little surprised that she asked the question to begin with, and didn't just run immediately to playing cover for Democrats. But check out the clip. Before we get into it, make sure you guys smack that like button. It really helps out with the algorithm. I would really appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed already, hit that subscribe button. Check it out.
Let me ask you about that, because you are the whole reason, as you just laid out, that DHS is not funded right now is because you're trying to push the administration to enact some policy changes on how Border Patrol and ICE act when they're out looking for illegal immigrants. And now what you're saying is that you're okay with funding TSA, which has been, I think, the biggest point of leverage that you possibly had in order to get what you want on ICE, because ICE already has its money. So what was the point of this shutdown if you're okay with funding TSA?
Hold on, Dana. Say that one more time for the people in the back that didn't hear you.
Money. So on ICE, because ICE already has its money.
Oh. Bing, 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 bing. ICE is completely funded until the year 2029. There is nothing that Democrats can do to defund ICE. ICE has all the funding that they need until 2029. So any Democrat that goes out here talking about, oh yeah, we're going to shut down, no, they can't. They can't. So this whole shutdown is literally for nothing. It's literally for nothing. Because while TSA while Democrats are shutting down DHS, ICE is still running just fine. They've got all the funding they need. Yeah, it's literally for nothing. But carry on.
So what was the point of this shutdown if you're okay with funding TSA?
Well, we never approach these things that are in front of us with respect to government funding in the context of leverage. Our approach
That's
is,
a lie.
What is the appropriate use of taxpayer dollars? And we believe that taxpayer dollars should be used to make life more affordable for the American people, not brutalize or kill them or violently target law-abiding immigrant families, which is what we know ICE agents have been doing.
I'm just trying to understand how, if you fund TSA and the other agencies that you just talked about, how you think that you will be able to put pressure then on the administration to make the changes to ICE that you're asking for.
The American people are going to continue to put pressure on the administration because they know ICE is out of control. They need to be reined in. And our view is that they should not get another dime of taxpayer dollars.
You know what else is funny? Since Democrats have not been yelling and telling, their voters to go out into the streets and do all types of crazy stuff, we haven't heard about really any instances with ICE recently. Ain't that amazing? When you just get the hell out the way and just let folks do their job, it's kind of crazy how it works, ain't it? Kind of crazy.
Until we have bold and dramatic and meaningful changes to ICE's behavior so that they are compelled to behave like every other law enforcement agency in the country. That includes making sure that there are judicial warrants that are required before ICE agents can rip the American people out of their homes in the middle of the night.
Well, due to Democrats, that is virtually impossible. There would be basically like nobody ever deported just because of the sheer numbers that we're looking at with these illegals. So no, thank you. No, thank you. We democratically elected Republicans to run this country. And it's funny how, Democrats are always talking about, democracy, democracy, democracy. Well, we democratically elected Trump. We democratically gave him the House. We democratically gave him the Senate. So which means we wanted Republicans to run this country. By and large, you can disagree with, Republicans and whatnot all you want to. The country as a whole decided that Republicans should run the show. So now it's funny that all of a sudden Democrats don't care about voting because we voted to let Republicans run the show, but they all of a sudden think they should still be running the show. Weird how that works. Now, I want to get into this clip of Hakeem Jeffries because, of course, the narrative is that it's Republicans' fault that DHS is shut down, which is crazy. They always play the tagline, and this is one of the things I've learned along this journey, is that mainstream media and Democrat politicians, they lie by omission. They'll tell you a piece of the truth, but they'll leave out one important piece of it that completely flips the narrative on what it is that they're saying. Case in point, Democrat politicians are continuously out here saying, well, Republicans control the presidency, they control the House, and they control the Senate. So any shutdown is Republicans' fault. And it's like, yeah, what you said is in part true. We do control the House, the Senate, and the presidency. But unfortunately, in the Senate, in order to get anything passed, we need 60 votes. We only have 53. If every single Republican votes yes, there's still only 53 votes, meaning, simple math, we need 7 Democrats to vote with us. That's the tidbit that they're not telling, which completely flips the whole story. Because now you realize, oh, it's Democrats' fault and not Republicans. You see what I mean? I'm going to play this clip from Hakeem Jeffries. Let me know what you think about it. Oh, wait, just pressed the wrong button. Sorry about that.
People, it's the reason why we are in a DHS shutdown right now, because Republicans have refused to agree to the type of bold, transformative, meaningful, and dramatic reforms we are demanding in order for the Department of Homeland Security funding bill to move forward. And I won't go through all of the demands.
He just admitted it. He just admitted it. Hold on. Say that again, Hakeem. So in your little rant trying to blame Republicans, you actually admitted that it is, in fact, yes, the Democrats' fault.
People, it's the reason why we are in a DHS shutdown right now, because Republicans have refused to agree to the type of bold, transformative, meaningful, and dramatic reforms we are demanding.
Oh, Republicans refuse to go along with your little demands, huh? Oh, so you shut DHS down. Interesting how that works. And you know what else is interesting? There are some Democrats who are breaking ranks. Which is quite interesting because typically you see all of them repeat the same lines. So when you see one of them actually saying something different, I think it's noteworthy. Case in point, we have this article here, all right, from the Gateway Pundit. And I want to read this headline. We're making people hurt. Democrats admit their DHS shutdown is hurting American people as travelers miss flights. Huh. Interesting. So now they're admitting that, in fact, yeah, it's our fault. And that person, by the way, is Democrat Representative Don Beyer. In the meantime, he said it's not forcing change. In the meantime, we're hurting people. The long lines that can't make us more popular. So yeah, he admitted that it's not making any, what they're doing isn't forcing any change, and they're only hurting people by doing this and making themselves more or less popular in doing this as well. But if you sit down and listen to Hakeem Jeffries, it's a totally different story. It's all Republicans' fault, and they aren't trying to hurt Americans. Or come on now, stop it with the nonsense. Stop it. But hey man, Trump has pulled the Trump card once again, and he has deployed ICE agents to help out the long lines at TSA. And that started today.
Slowed down a little bit, I will say, and we've been seeing these ICE agents out here today managing lines, helping with crowd control, just like Border Czar Tom Homan said they would. Here's a look at them this morning, and again, lines have been a little bit better the last few hours, but still unusually long as TSA workers continue to go without pay. Former DHS Secretary Chad Wolf said ICE is here because President Trump is frustrated, like the millions of traveling Americans.
Yeah. So ICE showed up today, this morning, and is beginning to make a difference. Still long lines, but slowly improving. And I believe as time goes on, that situation will get even better. But you know what Hakeem Jeffries feels about ICE going to help TSA? Because, of course, Democrats have so many solutions to solve the issue. Take a listen to something that he said here.
The last thing that the American people need are for untrained ICE agents to be deployed at airports all across the country, potentially to brutalize or in some instances kill them. We've already seen how ICE
will potentially kill them. Bro, Democrats make me sick. They make me sick. They're such hypocrites because they care so much about the two individuals that passed away, which, yeah, sure, it's tragic that people lost their lives, okay? But they care nothing about the hundreds, thousands of American citizens who have been put 6 feet in the dirt by these illegals. Didn't want to stand up when Jocelyn Nungaray was being honored. Sure, you guys remember that. Didn't even want to stand up for the young. I always forget his name, and when it comes time to mention him, the young black kid who suffers with brain cancer. Didn't want to stand up for him when he was being honored. Would rather just sit down and have their arms crossed, like little kids themselves. And yet they care so much. No, they don't care. They don't care. It's so disingenuous. It kind of pisses me off, to be honest, that they're using people's deaths in order to advance their own political gain. You know, it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. And the sad part is that there are some voters who buy into this nonsense. And it's like, bro, if you genuinely cared, you would have cared on the other side as well. You would have cared about the innocent little girl who was lured out of her home, raped and beaten, body thrown in a ditch. You would have cared about her too. But you didn't. You don't give a crap. You know? You care so much about these two individuals, right? One of them genuinely hit an officer with a vehicle, a deadly weapon, which I've already broken down that whole situation. We ain't about to go into that whole sort of thing, that whole thing again. The other one was fighting with an officer with a loaded firearm on him, if I remember that whole story correctly. Two situations where, you know, you probably shouldn't be doing those things. That could have been any officer that you're fighting with the firearm. Probably would have resulted in the same kind of situation. It's not just ICE. Any type of law enforcement official, if you try to run them over with your vehicle or hit them with your vehicle, you're probably going to get some lead sent back in your direction. It's not just an ICE thing. It's just common sense. But unfortunately, common sense is no longer common in this country anymore. And that's the sad part. But y'all get in the comments. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions. Stay safe. Peace.